Hello, I'm Joe Tackett. I have a company called Battle Stations, LLC, and it's based on an invention that I made several years ago called Battle Stations, and I do have a U.S. patent on it, and I've been developing it for quite a while. I have about 8 or 9 businesses involved at this point, and this is what it is. Battle Stations is the world's first aerobics-based, computer-operated martial arts training system. So to explain it to you, I do have some video footage coming up of the prototype, but to tell you what it's really going to look like. Imagine something the size of sort of a large hot water tank. And you've got a black plastic base about 8 inches high, holding it to the ground, and that has a industrial strength suction cup in it. So you're going to put it on the ground and put down this lever, and that's going to hold it in place. Then, sitting on top of that will be like a Pilates ball type rubber material, like a big airbag. And it'll be see-through, maybe a slightly blue color. And that's going to sit on top, and it's going to be as high as a human being, okay? And down inside the airbag, on top of the plastic base, but pointing up into the airbag, will be 2 devices. One is going to be a computer-controlled laser light with a mirror, and the other will be basically a high-def camera. So what's going to happen is when you are going to do your martial arts aerobic workout routine, you will pick one of the routines and hit play, and the music will start playing. Now, if you're at home, you can do this with speakers, but we also are going to have this use Bluetooth headphones. So if you're in a room with several of these devices, you don't have a cacophony of noise. But anyway, you've got your headphones on, the music's playing, and you start moving, okay? And then, because you've studied the actual techniques, and the book and computer site will show you the correct way to do martial arts techniques real quick. I mean, most people would make a fist like this. You hit something with that, you're going to break your wrist, okay? It has to be straight, things like that. So we show you how to do the techniques safely. So then you're going to pick out a routine where you do know the routines, I'm sorry, not the routines, but the techniques that are listed. So you start moving to the music, you've got your headphones on, and then a voice will say something like palm heel strike. So you know what technique you're going to use, but you don't know which of the 13 targets on the human body you're going to hit yet. So what happens then is the laser mirror light will paint a circle somewhere on this imaginary body in front of you, being represented by the big clear tube. Once you see that circle, you will then do the technique it told you to do, and you're going to be doing 3 things that we're measuring. The reaction time, how quickly you hit it, the amount of pressure in pounds per square inch, how hard you hit it, and also how accurately you hit it. So what happens is, as you hit the airbag, the moment it moves, we know that we painted that white circle at this point on the computer's clock. 0.3 seconds later, you made contact. Okay, so that's your reaction time. As you push in that airbag and you reach the apex and then begin to come out, the high-def camera is going to measure the size of the bump that you made, and we're going to be able to figure out how many pounds per square inch that represented. And then also, since the computer knows where it painted that circle, it can look at that dimple, that big bump you've made into it, and figure out if you were dead on target, or if you were 1/2 an inch low and to the left, or 2 inches high to the right, things like that. So when you're done with your workout, it's going to give you a report. So you can see blow by blow everything you've done, and also it'll show you, say, a pie chart with 3 sections in it. One representing your speed, one representing your power, the third one representing your accuracy. Okay? So the nice thing is you do your workout routine and you get feedback from it. But also, the next time you do that routine, and the next time and the next time, it will also show you a progress chart. Okay? Are you getting faster but you're losing your accuracy? Are you getting more power but you're slowing down? Okay? So this is a great tool just for martial artists alone. But it's also, because it's computer automated, there are a million other things we can do with it. For example, you could put it in abuse mode if you wanted to, and if you hit it, it might come back and talk to you and say, "Wimp, is that the best you got?" Okay? It could talk to you and do things like that. Also, what I see it being used for is a lot of different markets. First of all, the family market. To me, as a martial artist and someone who taught in aerobics and things like that, I would love to see kids get away from these Wii machines and the Xbox, things like that. I mean, I'm sure they're fun, but they're not doing anything for your body. They're not really doing anything for the real world. They're not moving your heart, your lungs. You're not developing all these motor skills you should be. So I would like to see those markets be open to this, and I think they would be. Martial arts studios in general, they could buy several of these, put them up in the studio, use them on training days, but also to judge without any doubt how these students are doing. Fitness clubs, put 10 of them in. Wednesday and Friday nights you have a class where 5 people come in, and you put 5 of those in synchronous mode. Everyone's got their headphones on, so now they're working out to their class. You've got the other 5 for individuals who want to do whatever they do. Hotels, okay. The whole system will fit onto a flash drive. So you can take your flash drive with you if you're a traveling businessman or whatever, throw it in your briefcase, you get to the Hilton, and hopefully they have a battle station there for you to use, so you plug it in and you keep up with your routines, okay? Military. I would love to get this into military, and that would be one of my first goals. I want this thing to be in the military first, also police work, and then when we promote it, I also want, because I live in the Detroit area, made in Detroit. I think that would be a nice thing to put on it, and also as used by the Green Beret or whoever. But anyway, I've got some footage I'm going to splice in here and show you from when I first put the prototype together several years ago. But it's going to show you how the software works and things like that, and then I'll be back. Hello, I'm Joe Tackett, and I am the inventor of a new aerobic automated martial arts device that I'm calling Battle Station, and that is what I'm here to show you a bit of. This is a mock-up of the Battle Station, the very first crude prototype. And what I'd like to show you first, what makes it unique, come over here. This is a normal kicking device you could buy at a sporting goods store. What I did was remove the padding from it, and down below here, you can get down, I drilled holes and installed a series of very sensitive sensors. Each sensor has 127 degrees of what they call velocity or power. So the harder you hit it, the higher it will go. And what I've done, as you can see here, these are aligned to what would be the right kneecap of this person. Over here we have the left kneecap. And if I bring this down, you see how they sort of line up here with what would be a person's kneecaps. Above here, we'd have a groin target, stomach, solar plexus, the nose bone area, then their left temple and right temple. Right now in this model we have 1 sensor per area, except on the nose bone we did put in 3. What we know is that eventually we would want 4 sensors on each area, basically north, south, east, and west. The reason we would do that is when you strike those sensors, those 4 sensors will feed back into the computer and tell us not only how hard you hit the target, but also how accurate you were. Were you high and to the left or low and to the right? We'll know that by looking at the values of all 4 of those sensors as opposed to a dead-on hit. So over here on this side we see the other piece of it. This is an external intelligent light. This is a low-end version that we picked up just to make sure it would work. What this light does, the light source is in this area, points up and it hits this mirror. The mirror is an intelligent device and we're able to tell it to tilt either up and down, right or left, and by doing that we can aim the light at the exact target area we want the person to strike. Okay? So the computer is telling the person when to hit and what to hit. The computer is sending out the light signals and it also will be playing music. The music that we're doing now is basically to an aerobic beat. The reason we do that, aerobics is very good for you, good for your heart, good for your lungs, keeps you moving in a rhythm. So the light will hit a target area, you will strike the target area, and the beauty is this is a closed system. Whereas the light's telling you what to do, when you respond, those sensors are recording back into the same software that is creating the music and sending out the light directions. When the software has run the whole course, when you've done your workout session, the software then takes the signals that were sent to you by the light and compares them to the signals that you created during the session and compares the two. I created all the music that went on here with a thing basically called a sequencer, which is a keyboard with a computer inside of it, and by creating the music I put it on the software here, which I know probably is not showing up. We will show it in detail later. But we have one track of all music, we have another track that is the actual signals going out to tell the intelligent light which target to hit, and when we do the session we will actually record a third track which will be our strikes. So those strikes are going to tell us later on, number one, what was our response time? When we got the signal from the machine, how long did it take us to actually hit it? Number two, how hard did we hit it? How many pounds per square inch did we actually put into that thing? Next, how accurately did we hit it? Were we high and to the left, low and to the right, whatever? And then finally, throughout the course of the whole session, we'll check stamina. And stamina is shown by, were you weaker at the end than you were in the beginning? Okay? So, let's get the thing going here, and we'll give you a little demonstration. What we're going to see, we've got about a 6-minute demonstration queued up here. This was made to show starting out with the very, very basics and then moving on into higher techniques and much more speed. I'm not going to go all the way. We will stop once we get going at a certain speed, and then I'll show you what happens over here. So let's hit play and record, and we'll roll. Okay, let's warm up. Take a right front stance and prepare to block. Right front stance. High block. Just warming up. Middle. Low. Just loosening up. Middle. Here we go. High. Okay, punching with the hand. Left hand. Left hook. Nose. Solar plexus. Groin. Stomach. Solar plexus. Nose. Left hook. Double up now. Nose. Nose. Left hook. Left hook. Solar plexus. Solar plexus. Stomach. Stomach. Groin. Right hook. Double up. Nose. Nose. Right hook. Right hook. Solar plexus. Solar plexus. Stomach. Stomach. Groin. Groin. Nose. Nose. Right hook. Groin. Stomach. Nose. Alright, from the right front stance, right front kicks. Kick. Left knee. Right knee. Groin. Groin. Stomach. Stomach. Solar plexus. Solar plexus. Double up. Left knee. Right knee. Groin. Stomach. Solar plexus. Groin. Stomach. Right knee. Alright, that is where the thing starts going freestyle, not telling you what to do anymore. A lot of breath here. As you can see, a little trouble with the prototype. It moves around a bit while you're hitting it, but that's okay. You come around here, we're going to take a look at the reports that are generated. This represents what the screen looked like before we started. This is our software. Over here we have the music track in stereo. You can see how it's moving in time, basically from left to right. And below that we had the actual light commands. And each one of these little black dots represents a command for the light to move to one area or the other. Once we have finished our session, we end up with an extra track down here, which was created by striking the actual target area. And power actually went up a little. Now we see everything is starting to go down, and when you get to the final 2 minutes, you see how everything is dipped. So the overall stamina rating was a 62.4. Once again then, what we're getting at that's important is a balance of the three essential talents, all right, of power, speed, and accuracy. What you want to end up with is basically 33.3 for each third of this circle. So speed, accuracy, and power. And then we put a little philosophy into it. Your speed, if you arrive too late, your target will no longer be there. Accuracy, arrive at the wrong place and you've wasted the journey. Power, use enough to get the job done. No more, no less. Okay. So anyway, that's the basic idea of it. There's a lot more to this than what we're seeing here. This is just one crude model. We already have a better model version of this in mind.